Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Securing the border is ultimately one of the most important responsibilities of the federal government. The instability and the chaos that drug cartels foster pose national security problems and public safety threats that endanger border communities like mine. In southern Arizona, we are impacted by border security every single day. Property destroyed, militarized like checkpoints on our roads, and fear of violence from transnational criminal organizations, or TCOs, running drug loads through our communities. And the very same pathway and smuggling routes that facilitate the illicit flow of people and drugs could also potentially be used for terror, making it critical that we quickly gain control of the situation along the southern border. Unfortunately, previous strategies have focused simply on sending more resources to the border because we have never systematically analyzed the threat, taking into account the weaknesses in DHS's capability or developed a serious plan to address those weaknesses. So it should not surprise us that for years DHS has applied resources in an ad hoc basis without ever asking some fundamental border security questions. What and where are the threats to our border security? Where are the gaps in our defenses, our understanding of the nature of the threat? And perhaps most importantly, how do we quickly plug those gaps and achieve a fuller understanding of where we are getting beat by the cartels? The Southwest Border Security Threat Assessment Act before us today is designed to get answers to those fundamental questions. We must move beyond the political rhetoric that on the one hand says the border's out of control, and on the other hand says it's more secure than ever and everything is fine. The truth is that we have been given an incomplete picture as it relates to the situation on the border, and we cannot verifiably say where between those two ends of the spectrum we actually are, and that's the heart of the problem. I believe that one of the first steps to assess the threats is to assess the threats that exist along the border, understand and identify the gaps in our defenses, and then develop a plan to address those gaps through a change of strategy that modifies how we deploy agents, technology, and infrastructure. My bill first calls for a border security threat analysis that considers the threats posed by TCOs and others, the impact of terrain, gaps in coordination between federal, state, and local levels of government, as well as an identification of current levels of situational awareness and operational control. Based on the results of this assessment, the Chief of the Border Patrol is required to issue a strategic plan designed to increase situational awareness, the ability to detect and interdict illegal activity at the earliest possible point, and focus intelligence collection to disrupt the cartels who are creating chaos along the border. Last month, I held a hearing on the need for situational awareness, and the short story is that DHS does not have a solid picture of what is happening on the border. Securing the border to an agreed-upon threshold without a very basic understanding of the current state of security situation makes achieving real progress very difficult. The sooner we can get a handle on where the threat is, where the drug cartels are beating us, the quicker we can adjust our strategy to deploy sophisticated technology and agents to address the threats before they affect our border communities. We cannot wait any longer. The bill before us today is a good first step. I urge my colleagues to support, and I yield back the balance of my time.